Alright, so we're group 3, and today we're going to talk about internal and external rotations of the shoulder. Also, we're going to speak a little bit about exercises that will help strengthen these muscles to help aid in preventing injuries or performing in different sports. So the first muscle that we're going to talk about is going to be latissimus dorsi, which is going to originate on the vertebrae from T7 to L5 and insert up here on into the intertubercular groove on the humerus. The teres major is going to originate on the posterior aspect of the inferior angle on the clavicle and then insert into the intertubercular sulcus as well on the head of the humerus. The subscapularis is going to originate on the anterior surface of the subscapulary fossa and insert into the lesser tubercle in the humerus. The pec major is going to originate on the medial half of the anterior surface of the clavicle and also along the sternum, and it's going to insert into the intertubercular groove. The deltoid originates from the anterior lateral third of the clavicle and insert into the deltoid tuberosity. The infraspinatus originates in the infraspinatus fossa, and it's going to insert on the posterior side of the greater tubercle. The teres minor is going to originate on the posterior lateral border of the scapula and insert into the greater tubercle of the humerus. Some of these exercises these muscles aid in a lot of sports like a quarterback or a pitcher in baseball, and so we're going to go ahead and show you certain exercises that will help aid in this.
Alright, so now we're going to talk about two workouts that we can do. It's going to be internal and external rotation, and within both these movements, they both move in the transverse plane, and they both move over a vertical axis of rotation, and that goes right through the middle of the glenohumeral joint. And in this workout, as we can see, this is internal rotation. In this, the agonists for this workout are the pec major, both the upper and the lower fibers of that, and also the subscapularis, which we have discussed is also a major agonist for this, and the deltoid and anterior fibers, and the latissimus dorsi, and also the teres major. In this workout, the antagonists for this workout are the deltoid posterior fibers, the infraspinatus, and the teres minor, which are both located on the posterior side of the body here. And in order to do this workout, holding right here as he holds the band right there, holds the arm close to the midline, and then rotates medially against the resistance in order to get the workout and to work those muscles. Now external rotation. This is almost just the opposite of internal rotation. For this, the agonists are the deltoid posterior muscles, the infraspinatus and the teres minor, which are located on the posterior of the body. And the antagonists to this workout are the pec major, the upper and lower, the subscapularis, the deltoid anterior fibers, latissimus dorsi, and the teres major. And this workout is done in almost just exact opposite of internal rotation, holding the arm next to the midline of the body, just like that, and against the resistance, rotating laterally, they will work out that specific muscle group.
Okay, so this next exercise that we're demonstrating now is called the lat pull down. It's a great exercise for working out the lat dorsi. You see a lot of power lifters and stuff with the big V in their back. This is a great exercise to help build that muscle. The lat dorsi is one of the agonist muscles. So a couple of the other agonist muscles included in this exercise would be the bicep, the deltoid, the trapezius, the pec minor, as well as the rhomboids. There's two antagonist muscles that's also included in this exercise, and those would be the pec major as well as the tricep. So to demonstrate a little bit of proper motion and placement of your body as to not get an injury while doing this exercise would be, you'll see that she's kneeling down with one leg, the other knee is pointed towards the door or the wall. Her body, so her back is straight, it's not curved or arched at all. And her arms, when fully extended, are pointing towards the anchor point on the bands itself. To perform the movement, she's pulling straight back in the sagittal plane with a little bit of motion in the frontal plane as well. And she's pulling back, squeezing the scapula together just to the point of where they would naturally stop by themselves. This muscle is a great exercise for strengthening those muscles. And we recommend that you do three to four sets of 6 to 8 reps a day and perform this exercise 3 to 4 times a week.
So the other exercise that we're going to talk about is called the L-fly. This is a simple exercise that can help strengthen the rotator cuff. It's not one meant to have much weight used in this exercise, as it is a protecting exercise. Some of the agonists of this exercise include the teres major and minor, as well as the infraspinatus, the subscapularis, and the posterior deltoid. As you can see, some of the planes of motion include the frontal and sagittal planes, depending on the variation of the exercise that you perform, as well as some of the antagonists of this exercise include the anterior deltoid and the pec major.
There's many modifications that you can do with this exercise. For example, you can add free weights to increase resistance. You can also use an exercise band that you hold in your hand and attach to the ground in front of you as you raise that. And you can also do this laying in the prone position, either on an exercise bench or an exercise ball, or at home you can just use a chair. And to isolate your rotator cuff muscles, you can rest your elbow on the side of the chair like this and increase the motion like that. It's also recommended that to increase the strength of those rotator cuff muscles that you do 8 to 12 reps for about 2 to 4 sets, about 1 or 2 times a week.
Alright, so I'm here to summarize what we went over. So the muscles, there were 7 of them if you remember. The latissimus dorsi, the teres major, teres minor, the subscapularis, the pec major, deltoid, and the infraspinatus. The 3/4 workouts that we chose to show you were internal and external rotation. That was with the bands going like this. The lat pull downs, which was these ones, and then the L flies, which was doing this. We want to note that it is important to warm up when you're doing, before you're doing these exercises, as well as you can also increase resistance. You can use a weight band that is more, or you can increase weight size. And then all of these exercises are designed to improve strength, endurance, flexibility, balance, speed, power, and coordination. So we hope you guys learned a lot. Hope this was helpful.